been a while. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that that's because of personal reasons and illness that I've been going through at the moment. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should. It will tell you about schedule changes and things. So also, if you don't know, this week is going to be what I am going to call a Halloween spooktacular. So there's going to be an upload every single day for a whole week on spooky things and scary cases. So just to warn everyone that it could be a bit graphic, especially today. This case is quite graphic. I'm not going to post any pictures because I find that quite disrespectful to the victims. But you can Google them if you want. I think that's about everybody up to date. I'm going to try and post a bit more regularly. But obviously, as I said, me being ill has taken up most of my focus at this time. So you can follow me on Twitter for schedule updates, or if you hit the notification bell, it will tell you when I've got a new upload up. So with that, guys, I'm going to jump right into it. So today we are talking about Ed Gein. So he was born in 1906 in Wisconsin. His father was George Gein, and his mother was Augusta Gein. So he also had an older brother called Henry. So George was an alcoholic, and Augusta, his mother, was very religious, very strictly Christian. And his family moved in 1915 to a farm outside Plainfield. Gein was obsessively devoted to his mother, so much so that he actually only left the farm to attend school. He would never go on dates. He wouldn't go to his friends' houses and things because his mother forbade it, basically, because she thought that other children were very sinful and would taint her children. So she did not allow them to leave the farm other than to attend school. So his father George died in 1940 from heart failure secondary to alcoholism, and in 1944 Ed and Henry were actually burning brush on the property. However, the fire raged out of control. So Ed Gein went to find the police to tell them what had happened and to get help, and he said that he couldn't find his brother and that Henry was missing. So when the police were accompanied back to the farm by Ed, he actually led them straight to his brother's body where he was, and Henry was lying face down and he was deceased. He had blunt force trauma to the head. However, a coroner ruled asphyxiation was the official cause of death and no further investigation was done into Henry's death. So his mother actually died in late 1945 after suffering 2 strokes. So after his mother died, obviously Ed was so devoted to her, he became deranged and he developed an interest in anatomy books. And he ended up supporting himself by becoming a handyman, and he would also babysit local children and neighbours' children. On November 16th in 1957, a woman named Bernice Warden was reported as missing. So she went missing from a hardware store, a local hardware store to Ed Gein, and Ed actually regularly visited the hardware store. So the sheriff and the police teamed up and went to the crime scene, and they found that the cash register was gone and that a trail of blood actually led to the back of the store. So Bernice's son was actually the deputy sheriff at the time. So he found that Gein's behaviour was extremely odd. He knew about Gein visiting the shop regularly, and so this put Gein automatically as a suspect. So the sheriff called for him to be arrested to be questioned. So he was apprehended shortly after police and sheriff had investigated the crime scene. So then there was an investigation into the farm that night, and unfortunately Bernice Warden, her headless body was found hanging upside down from the ceiling. So further investigation also found inside the house that there were human skulls on the corner post of the bed. Skull caps were being used as soup bowls. A human heart was found in a saucepan on the stove. There was also furniture made out of skin, such as lampshades and chairs. A ceiling light pole, like the little string, was made out of lips. He also made clothing out of skin, so he had a belt made of nipples, a memory vest made of a woman's torso, and socks made from human flesh. And they also found the head of a woman in the bag who was later identified as Mary Hogan. They also found organs in jars and what they thought were shrunken heads. So they inspected these shrunken heads, as obviously if you saw that you'd think it was pretty unusual. They actually found that they were human faces. So the human faces had actually been so carefully peeled off so that Gein could use them to wear as masks He wanted to wear human skin as a mask. When Gein was questioned about all of this, he admitted to killing Bernice Worden, and he also admitted to killing Mary Hogan 3 years earlier, who was the woman whose head was found in the bag. He also admitted to body snatching for cutting off body parts to make his masks and clothing. He also admitted to necrophilia as well. So Gein explained that it was only middle-aged women that he would dig up, and the only reason that he would dig up middle-aged women was because he wanted to be close to his mother, which is why he dressed as a woman and had a memory vest. So on November 21st, 1957, Gein had charges of first-degree murder read out in Washoe County. However, he pled not guilty on the understanding that he was insane and he was unfit for trial. So he was sent to Central State Hospital for criminally insane, and then he was later transferred to Mendota State Hospital. In 1958, while he was in the hospital, Gein's house actually burned to the ground. Also, his car that he used to haul bodies in, it was also sold at auction. So it sold for $760, but due to inflation, now that would be around $5,718, and it was sold to someone called Bunny Gibbons. So Bunny was a carnival owner, and they used to charge 25 cents per person to see the car. And in 1968, doctors said that Gein was fit enough to stand trial. So the trial began on November 14th in 1968, and it lasted 1 week. He was found guilty of first-degree murder. However, he was deemed that he was still insane, and so he was sentenced to life in a criminally insane hospital. On July 26th in 1984, Gein died from respiratory heart failure secondary to cancer. When he died, obviously he was buried with a tombstone, and his grave has been vandalised, and chips of his tombstone were stolen at the time. However, a majority of the tombstone was actually stolen in 2000, and it was found near Seattle in 2001. But now it's in a museum in Washoe County, and Ed Gein has actually inspired characters in popular culture, such as Norman Bates from Psycho, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're excited for more spooktacular videos. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. As I said, my Twitter is the best place to look for scheduling changes. I don't think that I will be uploading every Tuesday and Friday at the moment due to my illness. But I will keep you updated on there. Also, if you hit the notification bell, you will get updates every single time that I do upload, so that you'll never miss a video. So that's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.